Hey everyone, Wiggles here. In this video, I'm going to go over 15 different heroes that I would love to see in Marvel Rivals. I'll try to keep this video as short as possible since there's 15 different ones, and I'll also be listing 10 at the end, kind of like a notable mention. But for each of these 15, I'm going to say what kind of role they would fill and what I think they'd play like. Alright, let's just jump right into it. So I'm going to start with probably the most anticipated character to join this game, and that would be Deadpool. I think Deadpool would make an awesome DPS in this game. He has so many different options for kind of weapons he can use, and I'm sure there'd be some really cool team ups with characters like Wolverine. It'd be really cool to see a character mixed with like melee and range attacks, so I really want to see Deadpool in this game. Next up would be Cyclops. Cyclops is one of my favorites growing up. It'd be really interesting to see how they'd create that character. I'm pretty sure he would be some kind of DPS as well. Maybe have some kind of melee fighting style, but also be able to shoot his beam whenever he wants. He could also pair up with Wolverine really easily too. And next would be Falcon. I really think Falcon's going to be joining the roster in this game just because they've made recent movies for him, and it'd be interesting to see how he would match up with some of the other flying characters. He would most likely also be a DPS in this game with probably some cool drone capabilities, some flying abilities, and some really cool kind of melee takedowns. Now moving on to my personal favorite, that would be Daredevil. I really want to see Daredevil in this game. I think he could play similar to many different characters. So first, I think Iron Fist, he would have that same kind of kung fu style, but then they would also play similar to maybe Captain America, how Captain America throws his shield out every once in a while, and then Black Panther, how Black Panther has those dashes, and Spider-Man, how he can do all those different kinds of combos. It would be really cool to see Daredevil have some kind of like vision sense, being able to detect characters through walls or something like that. But that could be pretty OP. It'd be really cool to see somebody in that universe coming into this game as well. Now moving on to number 5, I would love to see Ant-Man in this game. I think Ant-Man's such a fun character. Don't know if he'd be a DPS or tank, but it'd be really interesting to see how they'd use that character. If maybe like the character could go small sometimes and then big other times, and he'd probably pair up with some of the Avengers. Number 6, I think Gamora would be a really fun character to see. She'd probably be a DPS as well, and be similar to Wolverine, how she'd have some healing recovery type spells for herself, but since she's a master assassin with the swords, she definitely have some really cool melee abilities to use. Maybe she could have some kind of Hulk jump ability since she has that really big leap, or maybe she could pick up others and lift others in this game. Going to halfway down the list, I have Nightcrawler. I think Nightcrawler would be such a fun character. The fact that he can like teleport to other people, more of like an assassin type ability, and then have similar abilities to maybe somebody like Psylocke, where Psylocke can go invisible if they're in a threat, but ultimately probably some cool combos and some really good bursts. Now I realize this list is full of DPS right now, so let me know if you think some of those first 7 could be in a different role. But let's keep going. So number 8, I think Juggernaut would be so cool to see in this game. He would definitely be a tank. He'd be a brute force, being able to charge people head first, probably slam them on the ground similar to Hulk's ult, and just use that superhuman strength and that really good durability to be a really strong vanguard in this game. I don't know who he would team up with, so let me know if you have any ideas in the comments down below. Number 9 would go to Gambit. I think Gambit would be really cool to see in this game. Not sure if he would be more of a DPS or a healer. Since he is a complete wild card and has an ability to heal, maybe he would be a healer. Pretty much a mystery, but it would be really cool to see how he'd play in this game. The fact that he can manipulate kinetic energy would be really cool abilities to see. As for number 10, I think another great Vanguard addition would be Colossus. Colossus is known for his durability, his perseverance, and his stamina, as well as his superhuman strength. I could see him having similar abilities to maybe Mr. Fantastic, how he can be immune for a few seconds, because he pretty much just makes his skin like metal, but that would be a really fun and unique character to see in this game too. Next would be a personal favorite of mine too, would be Iceman. I think Iceman would probably play more like a DPS in this game, but it would be really cool to have some kind of slowing DPS that really focuses on freezing the enemies, similar to how Luna Snow has that freeze ability, but maybe put that more on a DPS, kind of like Mei in Overwatch. But Iceman could be skating in the skies, and you can see that like ice trail behind him as he's in the air. Probably has some good freeze ability, and would be the ultimate rival to somebody like the Human Torch. Number 12 is going to go to Wilson Fisk. I think Wilson Fisk would be a really cool addition to this game. He'd definitely be a tank. If you don't know Wilson Fisk, he's the main enemy for Daredevil in the Daredevil series, but he's known for his superhuman strength and pretty much owns everybody in the city, so he might have some really cool like summoning other people abilities or something like that. But Wilson Fisk is definitely way more stronger than people think he is. Number 13 would be one of the coolest ones to see too, and that goes to Thanos. Thanos would probably be a tank just because of how strong he is, and he has so many cool abilities that could go into this game. Not only just how strong his melee attacks would be, he'd probably probably have some really good charge ability, maybe use that laser that he has, maybe a really cool stomp, and probably some way to enhance his own abilities. I think Thanos would be an awesome addition to this game. Number 14 would go to the Mystique. Mystique has some really cool abilities, but probably her most notable one would be the fact that she can shapeshift. That would be really cool to see if it was on a really low cooldown and you're able to pretty much shapeshift a lot in this game, and maybe have some cool backstab type abilities, and maybe the ability to pull out her dual pistols. She'd probably play more like a DPS, but I still think Mystique would be really fun to see. Lastly, for number 15, I think Beast would be really cool to see in this game. He'd probably be playing more like a tank or a DPS, since he has superhuman strength, agility, reflexes, and enhanced sense of fighting skills. So he'd play more like a melee character, maybe more like a tank version of Black Panther. So I realize there isn't many healers on this list, but the rest of the honorable mentions that didn't make the list would be Captain Marvel, Anti-Venom, Angel, Elektra, Cable, Bishop, Vision, Rogue, and Drax. It'd be cool if they had some really deep cuts like Angar the Screamer too. Alright, that's it for me. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a like so it can share across YouTube, and please subscribe to my channel to see more great Marvel Rivals videos just like this. Have a great day, everyone. Cheers.
Aside from my soul.